that way, after all these analysis, from this chart, what you can infer is that, see, first of all, when the females are affected more, okay, then it means that it is a dominant disease. Okay, see, males are saved here, so only females. So definitely it is a sex-linked disorder. Okay, so what would have happened is from this father X dot Y, okay, and X and X. So from the father, X chromosome always goes to daughter. From the father, X chromosome will never go to the son, only Y chromosome goes to the son. From the mother, X goes to the son, okay, and the other X to your daughter. So what happened is from this X, this X would have gone to all his daughters, and this being a sex-linked dominant disorder, all three daughters are affected. But how did the son escape is that from the father only Y chromosome goes. But the problem is with the X, so that is why all sons are not affected. So as a result, this is nothing but a sex-linked dominant disorder. Okay, so this is the question. Next is, uh, okay, two polynucleotide chains in a DNA are semi-conservative, parallel, continuous, and anti-parallel. So if you see semi-conservative, we've heard the term, correct? Continuous, we've heard it. So all options seem to be similar except for your parallel and anti-parallel. Okay. So they're asking about your two polynucleotide chains. Okay. Semi-conservative is the DNA replication is semi-conservative, correct? So that is not the option. Continuous, yes, it is continuous. Okay, but not the two chains. Okay, one chain is continuous, the other chain is discontinuous. So the answer is anti-parallel. It's not parallel, it's anti-parallel. One will be in 3 dash to 5 dash, the other one will be in 5 dash to 3 dash. So the answer is anti-parallel. Okay. Next, which one of the following conditions in human is correctly matched with the chromosomal abnormality? Okay, so I'll just read out the options. One is erythroblastus fetalis. They're saying it is X-linked disorder. Down syndrome, and the condition is 44 autosomes plus XO. Okay, Klinefelter syndrome, 44 autosomes plus XXY. Color blindness, Y-linked. Okay, so if you see, first option erythroblastus fetalis, it is a blood-related disorder. It is not a X-linked. Okay, it is a antigen-antibody reactive disorder. So that is not the right option. Next, Down syndrome, 44 plus XO. Down syndrome is caused because of the trisomy of chromosome 21. So it is not the right answer. There is no XO condition here. Klinefelter 44 autosomes plus XXY. Yes, this is the right answer. Klinefelter syndrome is seen in men, correct? So men will have one extra X chromosome. So the answer is 44 autosomes plus XXY. Okay, fine. Next. The genotype of the plant showing the dominant phenotype can be determined by. So the genotype of the plant, not the phenotype, the genotype. The genotype of the plant showing the dominant phenotype can be determined by. So if you can recall, I've told you two crosses, one is test cross and the other one is back cross. Okay. So test cross will help in identification of the genotype. Okay. So test cross is crossing your F1 hybrids with the recessive parent. That will help you in determining the genotype of the individual. Okay. So the answer is test cross. Okay, now a normal vision man. Okay, so a normal vision man. So if you say normal vision man, okay, he's normal vision whose father was colorblind. So this man's father was colorblind. Okay, marries a woman. Okay, he's marrying a woman whose father was also colorblind. So altogether, this is a colorblind family. Okay, so a man whose father was colorblind marries a woman whose father was also colorblind. Okay, now they have their first child as daughter. Okay, so they're having a daughter. So what are the chances that this child could be colorblind? Okay, so what is the probability of this female being colorblind? Okay, now let's work it out. Okay, so if you see this now, okay, so I told you this fellow is colorblind. Okay, so colorblindness is a it is a sex-linked disorder. Okay, so now this man will have X dot Y. He will also have X dot Y, correct? So, but father to this person, there is inheritance of only Y. So this person has got no disease genes. He is perfectly normal. But in this female, from the father to the daughter, the affected gene will come. Correct? I repeat. This female has an affected father. Sorry, this female has affected father. This male has affected father. But this for this man, there is no disease gene because from father only Y is coming. Okay. But here, from father to daughter, X is coming. So this female is a carrier. This female is a carrier. She's carrying the affected gene, but she's not affected because this is a recessive disorder. Okay. If it is a dominant disorder, this female would be affected. Okay, I told you, each generation you'll have one. So, but this female is not affected because she is a carrier. Okay. Now, in this, so he is absolutely normal. So, I can say it has got two gametes, and here X dot, the dot indicates it is a affected gene. Now, what would be the chances? One is X dot X, correct? The other one is X and X. Next is your X dot Y, and this XY. So if you see here, okay, so if you can see overall 50% are normal, okay, then 25% of men are affected, and this 25% of the daughters are carriers. She is a carrier. He is affected. And these two not affected. Clear? So if you see, they're asking what percentage of daughters are affected, it is 0. Because none of the daughters are affected. One set is normal, half of the daughters are carriers. Half of the males are normal, half of the males are affected. Okay. Similar condition, this is a sex-linked recessive disorder. Correct? But just the similar condition of a sex-linked dominant disorder, they are affected, the men are affected, these two are not affected. That's it. But this being recessive, you have to differentiate between male and female, because females have 2 X chromosomes and men have only 1 X chromosome. So the answer is 0% of the females are affected. Okay? So this is how it is. Okay, the next question is, okay, a certain road accident, the patient was found to be, one second, yeah. In a road accident, the patient with unknown blood group needs immediate blood transfusion. His doctor friend once offers his blood. What is the blood group of the donor? So it should be obviously blood group O, because O is the universal donor. Okay. Okay. Pick out the incorrect statement with regards to hemophilia. Okay, hemophilia is a bleeder's disease. Okay, it's like because of the lack of clotting factors. So they're asking you to pick out the incorrect statement. 1, it is a sex-linked disease. 2, it is a recessive disease. 3, it is a dominant disease. 4, it is a single protein involved in a clotting. The single protein involved in clotting of blood is affected. So obviously it is a sex-linked recessive disorder. So it is a dominant disease is a wrong option. Okay. Okay, so the next question. Okay. If both parents are carriers of thalassemia, you remember thalassemia, it's a Mendelian disorder. Okay. Both the parents are carriers of thalassemia, which is a autosomal recessive disorder. Okay. So male is a carrier, female. See how these two are carriers is that this is autosomal. Okay. The sex-linked both cannot be carriers. Okay. Fine. So if both the parents are carriers of thalassemia, it is an autosomal recessive. They've mentioned it. But some cases they'll not mention. You have to know the pattern of inheritance. If I say hemophilia, you have to know it is a sex-linked recessive. If I say thalassemia, it's autosomal recessive. Color blindness, sex-linked. Okay. So you should know what type of inheritance and which of the diseases. Okay, fine. So it's all, what are the chances of the pregnancy resulted in an affected child? Okay, so if both the carriers are getting married, so they didn't ask you what percentage of male or female. So it's a generalized question. So what are the chances of the pregnancy resulting in affected child. Okay. So now if I say it is a autosomal. So this XY is only for knowing the sexes, but otherwise you just have to keep in mind that it is autosomal. You have nothing to do with X and Y chromosomes here. But why am I using it here is that to know what are the females, males, what is the chance and all. Okay, fine. So I'll just put this table. This will be easier. One is x dot y and the other one is x dot x, correct? So here x dot x dot, here it is x dot y, here it is x dot x, and here it is x and y. Okay, so now the analysis. It's a autosomal recessive, correct? So if it is autosomal, you should not see male or female. Forget it. Okay, it is recessive. So if it is recessive, two copies should be there to cause disease, correct? One, this cannot cause disease. This cannot cause disease, but this can cause disease. Okay, so if it is autosomal, then I have to have two copies of each to get the disease, correct? So now, if you see this overall analysis, 25% of the overall population are affected. That is your female. And then 50%, that is these two. They are carriers. They carry the disease. And 25% are not affected. Clear? So if you see this, 25% affected, 50% carriers, and 25% are not affected. Okay, so the answer is 25%. Okay, fine. Okay, when the two species of different genealogy come to resemble each other as a result of adaptation, when the two species of different genealogy, the base is different, but they come to a common character because of the adaptation. That kind of evolution is called as you all know, convergent evolution. Genetically different, but they'll end up in a similar characters. The examples which we've seen is your marsupials of Australia, okay, wings of your birds and bat and other insects, etc. Okay, so all these are the examples of convergent evolution. Okay. Next, analogous structures are anatomically similar and functionally similar. Anatomically similar but different functions. Anatomically different but similar functions. Anatomically different and functions differently. The answer is analogous structures are anatomically different. Okay, but they perform similar function. Okay, like your wings. All are wings. Okay, they perform they're all the wings of your insect, bat, and everything, all are wings. So they help the animal to fly, but they are anatomically different. Okay, but they perform similar function. The base is different, anatomy is different, but they perform similar function. So that structure is called analogous structure, and they come in your convergent evolution. Okay. The baby has been born with a small tail. In that case, it is exhibiting. So small tail, it's nothing but the reappearance of ancestral characters. So that property is nothing but the atavism. Okay, atavism is the answer. Okay, in a Hardy-Weinberg equation, okay, the frequency of heterozygous individual is represented by. Okay, if you can recall the Hardy-Weinberg principle, it's p square plus 2pq plus q square is equal to 1. Here they are asking you the frequency of the heterozygous individual. This is the frequency of the homozygous individual, dominant individual and recessive individual. And this is the frequency of your heterozygous individual. So the answer is 2pq. Okay. Okay, so with this we're done with the genetics question. Next we'll see about physiology. Cut.